We wanted a big clock for our living room just because we have a hard time seeing the clock that we previously had. And I loved that this gave you the day and the date. So I liked knowing the day of the week and the date. Sometimes, it's just nice to see that at a glance. So I want to go over some of the really cool features of this clock. So this is a screen. It's a light up screen similar to the way the photo frames used to be. It comes with a remote control, but there's also in the back of the device manual settings in case you lost this remote. You wouldn't be unable to change your settings. Right back here, you can manually change your settings as well. This removes off this little stand, and there is a little hole here if you want to hang this on the wall. This does have to be plugged in. Here you will see the cord where it's plugged into the unit and then into our wall. But I really want to go over the super cool features of this device. Using the remote control, you have your power button to turn it off and on. I never turn it off. I don't see a reason to. And then this button right here that says OK, enter, you want to long press and hold it to change the screen styles. This happens to be my favorite one. I like it because I like that you get the sun, whether it's later in the day, in the morning. I like that image changes. It's just what I like. I will also show that you can click the arrows any direction you want and change the color setting. So you have yellow, red, green, and back to the white. When you long press this button here, as I mentioned, it changes the screen styles. So I'm going to hold that down, and you get this one here, which really makes the day of the week jump out, separating the time from the date. Some people might find that visual easier to read, and I like that it looks a bit patriotic. If we long press and hold again, you will get an analog clock, also giving you the day and the date. Some people might prefer an analog clock. This could be great for children to learn how to tell time, which brings me to my next thought on here is we're going to go through the settings momentarily that you can set reminders. This here is your final choice. This image changes. I don't know, I haven't had this for a year, but I'm assuming the image over here changes to the season. Since we are currently in the summer in July, it would only make sense that we have this surfer in the ocean. And then you have, this is very similar to the other, but you'll notice the little sun icon is missing and the font is a little different. And we're going to go back to the one that I like. Where it is laid out like this. Now you have these other button here that says exit and setup. When you push this button, it takes us to all of our settings. So you're going to long press and hold that, and this brings you to our menu board. It has several languages that you can scroll. You're just going to move the arrow button. Once you land on an option, you can go left or right to scroll through the different languages because you can set this clock to talk to you. You will go and hit the down button in order to set your time. You're going to be able to set your date, the time mode. I have mine at 12 hours, so we have the day and the evening hours, even though obviously it is still going to give you 24 hours. You will set up your date mode the way you like. So in the US, we always like the month, the day, and the year. But if you grew up somewhere else where you like it to be the day first and then the month, you can change that format. Then you can set up for your daylight savings according to the continent where you're at. We have it on auto dimming, which means it just goes down slightly in the evening, so it's not so bright, especially if you have this in your bedroom or your living room. And then there is this volume button down here. So using the arrows to go left or right, you can set the volume as you see it going 6, 7, 8. You can set it to be louder, especially if someone might be hard of hearing or you want to hear this in another room when your alarms go off. I currently on Chime do not have any alarms, but I think this is such a cool feature. I do want to show it to you. So going over here and setting the arrow to the left, you can use that chime as a timer. At the bottom is the alarm, and the alarm is by far the coolest feature of all on this unit. You can set up to 5 different alarms. Now, while this looks busy, it's really cool, and I want to get a close-up view so you can really see what I'm talking about. I'm going to scroll down to alarm 5 since that's what we see the closest here on our screen. So bear with me as I scroll down, as you have to do these one at a time. Okay, so when you land on time, you can set the time you want your alarm to go off. And by doing that, you click this button here, this arrow. Once you click it over, it will underline it has a zeros underlined. I'm gonna go back, and now the 12 is underlined. You're going to do the arrows up and down to change that time. So for this scenario, we're going to set this for 1 p.m. And I'm going to go down to the status button where it says off. Again, changing our arrows. I think you get the idea now. You can select how often you want this to go off. It defaults the first setting Monday to Friday. You can do it Monday through Sunday. I skipped over one quickly there. I think it was just the weekend and off. So we've got Monday to Friday. We've got Saturday and Sunday, or you have 7 days a week. The mode here, you have once, repeat, and repeat what it does is the alarm will keep going off, constantly reminding you until you take your remote and address that you have heard it and that you have done whatever it was. So sometimes maybe you might be out of the room and did not hear the alarm and you didn't want to miss it. That would be a reason you would keep it on repeat to force you to manually turn that alarm off. And the type, this is what is so cool. So it's not just alarm. There are actual reminders. It will remind you, it will say these words. It will say breakfast. So the clock itself speaks to you. Dinner, drink water, feed the pet, get up, lunch. There are so many options in here. Sleep, take a walk, walk the dog, water the plants. So you can choose these different activities. Maybe you wanted to use it as a reminder to take medication. This can help both adults and children stick to time management and not forgetting chores or activities. So when you want to exit this screen, you simply click the exit button. And you're going to hit it again because it takes you to that menu. And then it brings us back to our screen. One final thing I want to point out, when you are using this remote, you have to point it way down here. There's a little sensor box that captures it. So you can't just aim it at the screen like a TV or it will not respond to this remote. I hope I've answered your questions. If you're looking for a clock like this, I just think it's a really cool clock. Our alarm should be going off at 2:10. You see it has feed the pet. And then I hit any button on the remote and it turned it off. So that is how the alarm works on this unit with the clear instructions on the screen.